My book that I have most recently finished is called Big Thinking for Small Business, Straightforward Advice to Grow Your Business. Written by Stephen J. Coulson. This book was published in 2020, so I guess that sort of predates the COVID epidemic. It does explain a few things. I grabbed this book off the shelf because it looked small and I have a lot more books to get through for the rest of the year. I think I've got another 12 books to read. So I picked something small. Honestly, I didn't really enjoy this book. It didn't really pull me in. I've lost track of how many business books I've read this year, and I just didn't really enjoy it. I just feel like he touches on a lot of topics, and it's almost like you're just looking at the tip of the iceberg the whole time. I almost feel like it would have been better if the book was maybe 100 pages longer and he went into a little bit more depth into some of the stuff. I really got sick of him saying growth mindset. I feel like every third or fourth sentence it had growth mindset on it. And I understand growth mindset is like an important concept, but he should have just abbreviated it, to be honest. I just feel like it was unnecessary. I'm just going to read a little bit because I just feel like there's just nothing that really jumped out at me that I enjoyed out of this at all. Brutal facts. My first piece of advice is don't give up. Whether you're starting out or whether you've reached crisis point or simply want to know how to grow your business, giving up is the easy option when you feel lost, unsupported, and conflicted. When you're faced with so many barriers, pursuing your dreams under these conditions may feel daunting, as I know too well. What's needed is a healthy dose of brutal, honest self-reflection. I think if he was honest about this, that he probably... Honestly, I feel like you shouldn't have written this book. I feel like I know this is like really brutal, but I got more out of his reference sentence, his learning resources. I got more out of that for further books to read than out of this book. I appreciate that he went from like £6,000 investment to an eight-figure PLC. But it just I think the idea of it was supposed to be experiential. It says this in the conclusion. It's supposed to be experiential instead of theoretical, but it was too short to be useful, and it was just too... It was like that he'd tried to bake a cake and just didn't make a cake at all and just put icing on a plate. Is kind of what it felt like. It just had no substance to it. Anyway, I wouldn't recommend this book, but I did finish reading it this week. So don't check it out or check it out, whatever you want to do.